And we mentioned the creation of those shell companies. So what are they and how do they work? Dina Gusovsky explains.
Offshore accounts and shell companies have long been used by wealthy individuals, government entities, and large corporations. But the recent leak of a trove of documents from Panamanian law firm Mossack Fonseca, known as the Panama Papers, shows how it works in much more detail and who's benefiting from having so much money overseas.
Creating an anonymous company is very, very easy. If I, as an American, really wanted to create an anonymous company in Panama, I would call up what we call a corporate service provider, and Mossack Fonseca is a version of a corporate service provider. In many cases, you'll see companies like Mossack Fonseca doing what they can to make it as difficult as possible to figure out who is behind an anonymous company. And so that makes a bank's job that much harder.
Oftentimes, one can even register an anonymous company online. There can also be what's referred to as a registered agent involved. That's the person who would receive all the mail for the company. For example, if there's some kind of legal action taken against it, that person would notify the appropriate parties.
I can then use that company for any number of things. I can use it to stash my kickbacks in a bribery scheme, whether that's commercial or official sort of government corruption. I can use it for tax evasion or tax avoidance.
Moving drug money can be done this way as well, by sending cash through tax havens to make it harder to trace the source of the funds. For some government officials, there's no shortage of reasons to try to hide money. Sources we spoke with say a lot of people here in America take our banking system for granted. And in places where money is not safe, like in politically unstable countries, the incentive to park money overseas becomes that much more real and urgent. Some world leaders simply don't want the public to know how much they're really worth. And of course, if they can get away with not filing a tax return, that makes Panama all the more enticing. And some think, based on the close relationship between the United States and Panama, American names and companies might come under the spotlight next.
Those ties have been very strong for a long time, and I do expect to see U.S. names and, in fact, U.S. anonymous companies part of the network and fabric.
In Panama, the customer is oftentimes shrouded in mystery, just like he or she prefers. For Nightly Business Report, I'm Dina Gusovsky.